Well, good evening. Well, it's early evening, isn't it? It's 4:30-ish, 4:45 now. Crikey. Welcome to 100% LCFC. We normally do this, as you know, every Monday at 8:30, but I thought I'd do something a little bit different tonight. I am trying out some new software, so please put in the comments below if you can hear me, if you can see me. Trying some new gear out, trying to make it better, trying to already look at next season stuff, trying to bring you a lot more 100% LCFC content to you. Lots more to tell you about that later on in a few more weeks when we get things into position. So if you are watching this, hopefully we've got this working on Facebook, Twitter, Periscope, YouTube. It should be going out to all our 100% LCFC channels. So thanks everybody for watching. My name's Phil. Please try and bear with me tonight. Get your comments in, let me know. I'm going to shout out to anybody who is watching. I can see that Richard Wilson is watching. Imtiaz, let's get your name right there. Imtiaz is watching. Hi, can you hear me okay? Baz Short, and Tom's feeling a little unwell, and I wanted to go a bit early because I want to settle down. Still got a bit of a chocolate Easter egg here. That was the only one I got. Hope you all got lots of chocolate Easter eggs, but I've got half of one left, and I'm going to snuggle down later, watch a film. So we thought we'd go early. Sam Holloway, hello, watching. Hopefully you can see the stream down there. Ivan Gibbs, hi Ivan, how are you? Lots to talk about. We've got a few giveaways as well. Thought I'd keep you all entertained. Hopefully you can see this. This book's been around a bit. Steve Walsh, 50 Shades of Blue. It's a pretty good read. So by the legend that is Steve Walsh. Nice book there. So I'll give that away. If you want the Walshy book, just put in the comments. Steve Walsh is a legend. He's a hero. And I'll pull somebody out for that. I'm going to draw out the pizzas. We put a post on Facebook and Twitter earlier. I've picked out somebody, or I'm going to pick out somebody to win the two of the pizzas. They were getting two for themselves, two for some friends. Tom Hoger says he's feeling ill from too much beer. Tom, I was feeling sorry for you. I thought you were feeling ill because you just got a bit of an unlucky bank holiday illness. But if it was from too much ill, that's good. Stuart is saying, yeah, it's early doors. Hi, Nathan Steen. Thanks for watching. Get lots of things to talk about. If you want the book, don't forget to say, I want Walsh's book. We've got some more pizza to give away. So lots of pizzas to give away to anybody who wants those. Plus, I'm going to draw out the people who gave them to us earlier. So what did we all think to Saturday's match? Again, get your comments in. Phil Sykes is already saying Steve Walsh is a legend, which is great. So if you think Walsh is a legend and you fancy this book, I'll post it out. Hopefully, I'm not going to pick anybody who lives in Australia or New Zealand because it will cost more. But a little hello to Steve Walsh. Oh, talking of the legends, I know our pals down at ADT. I know the guys at Hope Against Cancer, which is a massive local charity, raises loads of money for obviously people suffering with cancer in lots of different ways. Well, the reason for talking about that is the legends are playing. They're playing lots of matches over the next few weeks. One of the matches they are playing is next Sunday, so that's Sunday the 8th of April. That's the Leicester City Legends. I think Walsh is there. I think Muzz is there. I think Matt Piper might be there. I think there's a whole host of ex-Leicester players going to play against a team from Hope Against Cancer charity. So we've been promoting that for them, helping them get as many people down there. May even get down there. So that's something to look forward to on Sunday. Obviously before that we've got Saturday. For sports fans, there's a bit of a double header in the afternoon. There's obviously the Leicester home match against Newcastle United, and that's what we're going to talk about. There's also, and I know a lot of you know, I've been going down the Leicester Riders as well the last few weeks. In fact, about the last year. Found that out of nowhere, and I recommend that highly to anybody who fancies a bit of extra sport. Well, they're playing on Saturday night at, I think it's 7:30. Manchester Giants, I think they're playing. So double header in Leicester on Saturday if you fancy it. Newcastle United 3 o'clock for the football. 7:30 Riders play Manchester Giants. Anyway, let's look back, shall we, first of all, before we talk too much about next Saturday, which we will have a little talk about Saturday. Let's talk about last Saturday where we beat Brighton. I don't know what you guys thought about that match. A bit of a smash and grab maybe. Put in your comments below, let us know what you think. I'm just going to flick around here and see if I can read some different people's comments from different places. Let's see what people are putting onto Twitter. Yeah, if you can retweet it, if you're watching live on Twitter, I know quite a lot of you are. If you can retweet this, tweet me your comments and I can read them out. That's great. If you're watching on Facebook again, Tom Eaton. Tom, join the Leicester lot. Get rid of it. I know Tom's a Man U fan. Give him grief. That's fine. Bit of banter. Tom Hoger says, we can not pick Okazaki after an international week. He's always off the pace. Well, yeah, he is. Because, obviously, he travels so far to play for his home team of Japan, doesn't he? So, that's a fair point. And I think Okazaki did look a bit off the pace, didn't he, Tom? I think you're right there. So, let us know. Thank you for everybody who's liking and sharing. That's brilliant. Just going to read out a few more comments here. Michael Gelds, hopefully I've said your name right there, Michael, says Ibora, fox in the box. He was Ibora. I'm going to be honest. I don't think Ibora had necessarily the best whole game on Saturday. In fact, I don't think anybody had the whole best game on Saturday, if I'm honest. But we've been talking about where's the plan B, and I think if you remember a good few weeks ago when we were saying we've loaned Slimani out, we've loaned Ujah out, where's plan B? I did say, and a few of you are agreeing, that Ibora was a good option as a plan B. He scored quite a lot of goals for Sevilla last season, over the last couple of years. He's often been used as a sort of false striker at times when they've needed a goal, and I think he proved late on Saturday that he can score a goal. So well done, Ibora. We all like that. Imtiaz is agreeing with you on that. Nathan saying here, can we appeal the Ndidi red card? It's a good question, Nathan. Put your comments in if you know the answer to that. I think I do know the answer to that, but let's hear to see if you guys can get the answer to that. Welcome everybody who's watching on, I say, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. We've been going out live every Monday on Facebook for well over a year now, but we've trying some new software out today, which should allow us to go out on all 4 channels simultaneously, so we do the same show. So we'll try and get comments in from everybody, so bear with me while I'm fiddling with the shows here. So going back to Ndidi, my understanding of the Ndidi red card is that because it was a second yellow card, you can't review it. You can only review or debate or appeal, whatever you want to call it, a straight red card. That's my understanding of it. Put me right if you want to, but I believe that we can't appeal Ndidi's second yellow card, which seems slightly frustrating because I've watched the replays back, I'm sure you all have. If he touches him, it's a glance, isn't it? The player goes down. I think he's unlucky. He clearly looked unlucky. So I don't think Ndidi will be available, will he? He'll be on at least a 1 or 2 match ban for his red card. Tom, thanks Tom for your comments. Shame you're too hungover to come on live with us. Tom Hoger says it was a very poor first half and up to the penalty, but after that the wake up call we got going. Diabate looked good, changed the game, got to get him in the team. It's a good point, Tom. It's a good point, isn't it? The game really did hinge on Kasper's penalty save. Totally hinged on that. Did you fancy him to save it? I must admit, Kasper's record in penalties isn't necessarily brilliant, so I was fingers crossed that he was going to be doing it. But he seemed to. Well, it was a great save. It wasn't a bad penalty, was it? So in the end, pretty pleased that he did make it. And the game definitely changed on that. It was one of those games, wasn't it? I think Brighton would be upset that they hadn't already taken the lead by then. But we made the most of it. A few people starting to put things in here. Don't forget, this is one of the prizes today. Steve Walsh's book, 50 Shades of Blue. Hopefully you can all see that. How many of you remember that? That's one of my fondest memories of Leicester City, up until obviously the Champions season. But we've got that book here. It's nice. Just having a little look through. A few pictures in here, a few bits. So if you want that, Walsh's book, like and share the video, put in the comments, I'll have Steve Walsh's book and I'll pick somebody out for that. And the pizzas again, I'm going to give a couple of pizzas away tonight, just for no reason, just in the comments. And I'm going to scroll through, I've got the iPad ready, so I'm going to pick out somebody from the competition earlier to see who got that. Let's read a few more of your comments here. Andrea saying, Phil, do you think that the goal difference will be important at the end of the season for 7th and 6th place? Probably will, won't it? It was a bit disappointing on Saturday that Burnley went and won again, wasn't it, Andreas, if I'm honest? When we poached that late win, I think we were all thinking, great, you know, we're going to leapfrog Burnley here and we'll be looking at Arsenal. But it was a shame to see that Burnley went and got a decent win. It was a shame that Arsenal went and beat Stoke. What do we think of Stoke, by the way? Do we think they're going down? So yeah, I think Andreas, totally. I think goal difference is going to come into play at the end of the season. I'm reading a few more comments here. When I peer in like this, it's because my eyes are that bad. I have to read people's comments. Nathan is saying, no, Nick, he's been poor last season or so. I'm not sure who you're on about, Nathan. Have to read back. Michael Geddes is saying, Diabate, good link-up play for us. Yeah, he is. Diabate does look decent, doesn't he? Should he get a start maybe on Saturday? That's a question for you. Should Diabate get a start or not? Put in the comments whether you think he should. Put any questions you want to put in the comments here and I'll have a read as I'm playing around with this new bit of software, trying to see everybody's chat in there. So let us know your views and your comments and I'll try and read them out. Diabate, I think he's playing really well, isn't he? I think, if we're honest, Damari Gray's got to be feeling a little bit miffed. Also, do you think that Adrian Silva's going to be a little bit miffed, if we're honest? I'm not saying whether he should or shouldn't be in the starting team. I'll leave that up to you guys. But he has, you know, we've been through all the saga of him being 14 seconds late. We're in a World Cup year. The guy's should be in the World Cup squad, I believe, for Portugal. But he's going to miss out, isn't he? I think sitting on the bench. Maybe this is his chance now with Ndidi being sidelined to see what Iborra and Silva can look like together. Read out a few more comments here. Nathan says Fuchs has been poor, Phil. And Fuchs or Chilwell? There's a question, isn't it? Chilwell or Fuchs? For me, I think the long-term future is with Ben Chilwell. So I think this is the season to keep persevering with Ben Chilwell. I think he plays pretty well. He's not everybody's cup of tea all the time. He gets caught out in possession. He gets caught out of position, should I say more likely. I think Christian Fuchs, by the way, who's always down at the Leicester Riders. I was plugging them earlier saying, don't forget Saturday night it's Riders v Giants at 7:30. But Christian Fuchs is always down there. I think he's starting to look at future, isn't he? He's got his No Fuchs Given brand, which is going brilliantly for him. Pleased about that. He's got his Christian Fuchs, the Fuchs, it's a tongue twister. The Fox Academy, which he's got running in Leicester, I believe New York, one in Austria. So he's starting to, you know, look at what's happening next for Christian Fuchs. So I think he knows that Ben Chilwell is going to be the future. I think he's happy enough with that. I think whenever Fuchs is there, he's good enough. But he's probably starting to come towards the end of his career. Ditto Robert Huth. We're not seeing anything of Huth. It's probably the end of Robert Huth, isn't it? Matthew Wainwright says, or Waitman, sorry. Matthew Waitman says, Silva should start, same as Gray, because he has played well when he ever plays. Interesting. Hi Lee Chappers, how are you? Chappers is watching. Great to see you there. Ali Khan says, we need to sack Puel and bring in Marco Silva. Comments please on Ali, who says we need to sack Puel and bring in Marco Silva. This is Leicester City, who are currently 8th in the Premier League. Got to 2 quarter-finals in the League Cup and the FA Cup. I think, Ali, if you check your stats and your Fossils and Foxes history books, you'll realise that actually this season's going to end up, especially if we finish 7th, maybe higher and get into Europe. I think, Ali, you'll find that this is probably one of the best seasons for Leicester City ever in 130 something years, however long it's been. So Ali, I totally disagree with you. I think Claude Puel, I'm not necessarily saying he's the most exciting manager in the world. I think I read a stat earlier saying that since he's took over, I think the stat is we've not lost or had the least amount of defeats after 2 or 3 of the top teams. So for me, Puel is doing well. He's not necessarily the most exciting of everything. I think he's got a major reshuffling to do in the summer, which is going to be really interesting. And I think you've got to at least give him the summer and next season to see what happens. That would be my thing for you. I'm going to read out a few more comments here, just checking everything is working with our new bit of software to see how it's working. I think we're still running live everywhere. If everybody can see me, that's great. Few more. Nick Cherry's saying, is Chilwell the future? I think for me he is. I think if you see how he played for the England under-21s, he was not only played well for them, I think he was most people's man of the match for them. He was also captain for them. He's in a defensive position. You have to learn your job, don't you? When you're an attacker, you have to learn your job. But when you're an attacker like Demarai Gray and you make a mistake, you maybe give the ball away right up the other end of the pitch, and normally it doesn't cause a goal. I know the other week it did when Iheanacho did a sloppy pass to Mahrez and then we gave it away. But normally it doesn't. When Ben Chilwell's slightly out of position or gives the ball away or does anything wrong, it's spotted because you're a defender. Even worse if you're a goalie and you make mistakes. So they're hard positions. I know from when I used to play in defence, the minute you make a mistake, it always leads to a goal and everybody gives you grief. Rob Rizave, I don't know if I'm saying that right, Rob. Thanks for watching anyway. Rob says, why is Vardy not getting many touches in many matches lately? It's a good question. It's a good question, Rob. I'm not sure I know the answer to that. Put in the comments below. Answer Rob there. I think he's doing alright, isn't he? I think Vardy scored a few goals. Scored a great goal for England last week. Scored a few goals for Leicester. I think he scored, I think I'm right, don't quote me, I'm not Mr. Stats, but I think Jamie Vardy's got about 18 goals now all season. Again, like Ali was grumbling earlier, I would say anybody who's grumbling about Jamie Vardy, check your stats, check your fossils and foxes. I think you'll see that not many players have scored 20 goals in a season for Leicester since Gary Lineker did in 1982-ish. I think Vardy did obviously in the Premier League winning season, but he's on course to be, you know, again, 20 goals in the season, maybe 20 Premier League goals by the end. Tom says, got to let Puel bring in his own players in the summer transfer window. Let him build the team he wants. Thank you, Tom. That's exactly what I think. I think you've got to do that. I think all this chopping and changing is no good. We're in absolutely no chance of relegation this season. We should, for me, I hope whoever is in charge of signings, I hope, number one, they do a hell of a lot of better job than we did 2 summers ago. Probably a bit better job than we did last summer, although last summer's signings were probably a bit better. But I'm hoping we are already looking at transfers, because we're going to finish 7th or 8th or 9th or 6th. We're going to finish in that sort of zone, aren't we? So we can already start looking at players, and I would like to hope Claude Puel is doing that. I think he's already shown that in Diabate. He's got his eye on an area that perhaps we've not always got covered, and it was nice to see young, fresh talent. As Tom often says in our Monday night fanzine show, Puel does like to play young players, and we can see that with Demarai Gray, we can see that with Diabate, we can see that with Ben Chilwell. So he is going to want to play young players, which is great. So I think we do have to give him the summer. Right, forgetting myself, don't forget, if you want Walsh's book, Steve Walsh, 50 Shades of Blue. If you want that, I'll post that off. I'm going to pick one winner, so I'm going to pick that very shortly, because we've got about 5 or 10 minutes before we finish tonight's show. Let me know if you want that, and I'll put that in. So Steve, all you have to put is in the comments, Steve Walsh is a legend, and I'll pick somebody out. So anybody wants that, put that in there. Don't forget to like and share the video. That would be superb as well. Thanks Chappie on Twitters. Lee Chappie's retweeted us. Don't forget, follow Lee Chappie at Lee_Chappie for lots of banter from him and the guys. I'm looking at lots of people over on Twitter. Thanks everybody who's been retweeting on Twitter, and to our people who are on YouTube. Thanks a lot for watching. Keep liking, giving us a thumbs up, put in the comments what you want. That would be great. If you can retweet on Twitter, thank you very much. And don't forget, the Steve Walsh is a legend. Put that in there, and I will pick somebody. And I'm going to pick Michael Geddes, who's just put in there, Steve Walsh is a legend. So Michael, let me make a note of that. Michael Geddes, you have won that. I'm going to type your name in. Just grabbing a bit of pen and paper before I forget, because I've got the memory of a sieve. Michael Geddes. Post the book. Let us know, Michael, where you live. Hopefully it's not South Africa or Australia, anywhere like that, else it's going to cost me a fortune in postage, but so be it if you do. Inbox us, Michael, and I'll get that off to you. Don't forget, who wants the pizzas from our pals. Thanks as ever to all our sponsors, ADT, Peter's Pizzas, the Blues Bar. Hoping to get some new sponsors on board. If you run a business in Leicester and you want to talk to lots of Leicester fans, we think 100% LCFC is one way to do it. So put in there if you want some pizza. And I'm going to pick, I've got my iPad here, I'm going to pick out 2 names from earlier. So I'm just going to scroll through at random. These guys entered our competition earlier, where we've put a post out because nobody predicted that Ibora would score the first goal on Saturday and that Leicester would win 2-0. So that was our competition that we ran earlier on just to give them away. And I'm just going to pick somebody. And the winner is Ken Roke. Ken, I'm not sure if you're watching, but Ken Roke, you tagged in Leah Spratt. Interesting name. So Ken Roke, you win 2 pizzas. Leah Spratt, you win 2 pizzas. I'll put that in there. Sorry if you're just putting in there. Nathan is saying Kaputska. Don't get me started on him. And Steve Branson saying the contrast on your face is a bit red. Sorry about that. We are playing with new bits of software. Got cameras there, green screen here. We should be able to do lots of fun stuff with this if it works. It should be going out live onto Twitter, which I believe it is. Perhaps I'm looking a bit red because I've got last year's red kit on it, but I thought I'd wear it because of Jamie Vardy. My phone's ringing. That's always embarrassing. That's my son needs a lift from work. I'll just tell him he's ruined a live stream. Made it lots of fun. Anyway, I'm going to pick out Ali Khan for pizza. Ali's won 2 pizzas as well because I gave you a bit of grief earlier. 2 pizzas for you as well from our pals at Peter's. Don't forget, Sunday ADT are matchball sponsors for the Walshy Legends against Hope Against Charity. That's at 2 PM on the 8th. My son again ringing me. I'm going to throttle him in a bit. So I'm going to finish this off, this live. Thanks everybody for watching. Sorry we've gone a bit early today, but we fancy the chocky eggs later in a film. So we'll see you as usual for the rest of the week. Don't forget Dipak and Dom, 10 o'clock on a Thursday. 100% LCFC Jamie every Sunday at 10 AM for his fantastic Aftermath show. Hopefully after we've beaten Newcastle. I'm going to be doing some tactic shows like we've tried before. Going to do a lot of new shows. Like I said, keep your eyes peeled for lots of things. Thanks for watching. If you can like and share this video, that would be absolutely brilliant. And like I say, there's the plug for our sponsors. Thanks so much for them. Thanks everybody who watches. Thanks for all of you on YouTube. We'll see you soon.